We're diving deep into the top 5 most valuable and rare Washington quarter dollars that every collector dreams of finding. Could be worth up to $270,000, and you might have one in your pocket right now. From rare mint errors to historic misstrikes, these aren't just everyday coins, they're jackpot treasures hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about your change, this list could change how you see quarters forever. Yes, we're talking about the mysterious and ultra-rare 1967-era Washington quarter dollar, a coin so valuable and elusive that even seasoned collectors are scrambling to find one. Stick with us until the very end, because we'll reveal exactly what makes this coin worth a collector's ransom and how to tell if you might have one sitting in your change jar. The background: by 1967, the mint was producing clad coins. A copper core sandwiched between nickel layers. Key facts about the 1967 Washington quarter: no mint mark was used on any U.S. coins from 1965-1967 to discourage coin hoarding. Composition: copper nickel clad, no silver. Weight 5.67 grams. Minted at Philadelphia but no mint mark shown. Total mintage over 1.5 billion coins. Wrong planchet errors: $10,000 to $55,000 plus. Double struck off center, $15,000 to $60,000 plus. Full brockage errors, $35,000 to $100,000. Off metal experimental strikes, $70,000 to $120,000. Real sales auction prices. Let's take a look at real auction prices paid for 1967 era quarters. Heritage Auctions sold a 1967 quarter double struck off center at 75% for $55,000 in 2021. A silver dime planchet 1967 quarter brought in $77,000 in 2023. A 1967 quarter with full brockage was privately sold in 2024 for a staggering $100,000. One of only 2 known examples. These prices aren't just speculation, they represent serious demand among elite collectors. How to identify a rare 1967 quarter? You may be wondering, how do I know if I have one? Weigh it. A normal 1967 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If it weighs less or more, like 2.5 g or 6.3 g, it could be struck on the wrong planchet. Check the edge, no copper stripe. It might be silver or on an experimental blank. Look for doubling, strange images, or ghosted designs. Clear signs of double strikes or brockage. Examine the shape. Odd cuts or curved edges could signal a clipped planchet. And if you're not sure, send it to a reputable grader like PCGS or NGC. Authentication can be the key to unlocking that big payday. Collector craze and market outlook. The market for error coins has exploded in the last decade. More people are treasure hunting through coin rolls, and pocket change scarcity is driving up demand, especially for major mint mistakes. 1967 errors are now among the most in-demand quarters from the 20th century. Investors are snapping them up, grading them, and storing them like precious assets, and with only a handful of these known to exist, the value is only going up. We're diving deep into the story of one of the most elusive and valuable modern coin errors ever discovered, the 1969 D-era Washington quarter dollar. This isn't just some collector hype. These coins have sold at auction for small fortunes, and you might already have one hiding in your pocket. Change, old coin jar, or inherited collection. The background. Before we talking about errors, let's explore the history of the 1969 D Washington quarter, a coin born during a turning point in U.S. coinage. A turbulent minting period. The late 1960s were a challenging time for the U.S. Mint silver had been completely removed from quarters by 1965, replaced with copper nickel clad in 1969. Denver produced over 114 million quarters with the D mint mark clearly stamped under Washington's neck. Double die obverse DDO, $84,000 to $115,000. Struck on a wrong planchet, $25,000 to $90,000. Full brockage strike, $45,000 to $97,000. Double struck or off-center strike, $10,000 to $70,000. Real auction sales price and value. Let's look at real-world sales to prove just how serious the demand is for these errors. Heritage Auctions sold a 1969 D double die quarter in AU condition for $84,000 in 2021. A collector's 1969 D on a silver dime planchet graded MS-65 sold for $97,000 in 2022. In 2023, a brockage strike error on a 1969 D was privately traded for $115,000, one of only 2 known examples. These aren't just collector fantasies. These are real coins commanding life-changing money. How to identify a rare 1969D quarter. Here's how to identify a potential jackpot quarter. Look closely at the date 1969. Check for clear doubling on all digits. Examine In God We Trust and Liberty. Doubling will look like split, shadowed letters. Weigh the coin. Normal clad quarter equals 5.67 g. If it weighs less or more, especially around 2.5 g or over 6 g, it may be a planchet error. Observe the edge. No copper stripe. Could be silver off-center strike. Mirrored ghost image. Dramatic clip. All signs of potential value. Use a 10x loop or magnifying glass, or better, get the coin authenticated by PCGS or NGC. The collector market and future value. Why are these error coins gaining momentum? Rarity. Many errors from 1969D are one of a kind or exist in single-digit populations. Demand. Collectors love Washington quarters, especially with wild and obvious errors. Investment. As traditional investments fluctuate, rare coins have become stable assets for collectors and investors alike. Experts believe a perfect condition 1969D double die obverse could break the $120,000 barrier in future auctions. And once it's in a private collection, it may never hit the market again. We're diving deep into one of the most valuable and mysterious error coins in modern U.S. history, the 1972D Washington quarter dollar. We'll break down what makes it so special, how this error happened, and how to spot one yourself. So stay with us, because what you'll learn could literally change your financial future overnight. The background. Before we unravel the mystery behind the 1972D error, let's rewind a bit. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter features major off-center strikes 10 to 60%, $5,000 to $2,000. Double die obverse DDO, $3,000 to $7,500. Wrong planchet errors, $10,000 to $35,000. Clipped planchet errors, $20,000 to $45,000. The most valuable 1972D Washington quarter dollar. Now let's talk about the legendary unicorn of error quarters. The 1972D quarter struck on a silver planchet. Yes, you heard that right, $126,000. Although silver had been phased out of U.S. quarters after 1964, a rare few silver planchets somehow remained at the mint. In 1972, one of these accidentally found its way into the Denver coining press and was struck with Washington quarter dies. $137,000. This one-of-a-kind specimen was authenticated, graded MS-66, and sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $155,000. That single coin is 620,000 times its face value. How to identify a rare 1972D error quarter, ready to become a treasure hunter. Here's what you should look for in your pocket change, old collections, or inherited stashes. Look for the mint mark. Make sure the coin has a D mint mark, located on the obverse to the right of Washington's ponytail. Check for weight. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Use a precise scale. If your 1972D quarter weighs around 6.25 grams, it may be on a silver planchet. Visual anomalies. Any obvious off-center strike, missing details, or doubled lettering. Get it verified. If you think you've got something special, send it to a grading service like PCGS, NGC, Annex. They'll authenticate and grade it, boosting its value significantly. Market trends. Why values keep climbing. Coin collectors, or numismatists, are always on the hunt for rarity. Demand. The 1972D quarter, especially those with dramatic errors and in mint state, MS-66 or higher, is considered a trophy coin. High-end collectors, museums, and even investment firms are scooping these up like digital art. Just 5 years ago, a similar coin fetched $68,000. Now, bidding wars are pushing prices up to $155,000 and beyond. These aren't just coins, they're historical accidents frozen in metal. And they're only getting rarer as more are locked away in private collections. This is a rare, elusive, and jaw-dropping story. 1979 error Washington quarter dollar that has shocked collectors around the world. If you've ever handled a quarter from 1979, you need to watch this video all the way through. Because by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for and it might just change your life. Stick around because the secrets we're about to reveal could turn a 25-cent coin into a six-figure payday. The background. Let's rewind to understand what makes the 1979 quarter so special. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932, originally to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin became a permanent fixture in U.S. currency, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. It features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse. Clipped planchet errors. $1,500 to $5,000. Double die obverse DDO, $10,000 to $25,000. Struck on a penny or dime planchet, $35,000 to $55,000. Off-center strike errors, $70,000 to $87,000. Auction sales records and value breakdown. Let's talk money. In recent years, one of these ultra-rare 1979 transitional era quarters sold at auction for a staggering $190,000. But in pristine condition, estimates from experts suggest that the value could soar up to $230,000, or even $275,000 if a high-grade example surfaced today. Rarity. There are fewer than a handful of known examples. Desirability. Triple errors are like winning the lottery in coin collecting. Historical importance. Transitional errors mark moments of change in U.S. minting history. Condition. A coin graded MS 67 or higher is nearly flawless, and that drives up value exponentially. So yes, what looks like a simple quarter can literally pay off your mortgage. How to identify your 1979 quarters? Want to search for gold in your pocket? Here's what to do. Look at the edges. Is the coin missing its reeded edge? The ridges could be a broad strike. Check alignment. Hold the coin between your fingers and flip it. Is the reverse rotated? That's an error. Inspect the details. Use a magnifier to examine. Weigh the coin. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If it weighs less or more, it may be struck on the wrong planchet. Compare to known errors. Use resources like PCGS or NGC for visual comparisons. Certified value and where to sell. If you think you've got something special, get it certified by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. Don't clean the coin once certified. Consider heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or great collections to sell. eBay works too, but be careful of scams or undervaluing your treasure. Tipped coins with proper certification and high-resolution images always fetch more. This is a real story. The 1983 P. Washington quarter dollar has a secret, a deadly rare mint error that's baffled collectors for decades and shattered expectations at auction houses. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to reveal exactly what to look for, how much it's worth, and why this coin could be one of the rarest in your entire collection. Don't blink, you might miss $250,000. The background. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1983, marking the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, it became a cornerstone of American coinage for the rest of the 20th century. With its iconic obverse portrait of George Washington and the reverse featuring an eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, the quarter became instantly recognizable in everyday life. Clad layer missing error, $25,000 to $40,000. Double die obverse DDO, $30,000 to $50,000. Off-center strike error, $65,000 to $78,000. Real auction sales price and value explosion. So what's a 1983 P copper quarter really worth in 2021? A pristine era 1983 P quarter with full copper core and excellent strike quality was auctioned for just under $250,000. In 2023, another example sold for $300,000, shocking even seasoned coin experts. Today, collectors estimate that a high-grade, certified 1983 P copper core quarter could fetch $350,000 or more, especially with strong luster and no wear. Why so much? It's a transitional planchet error. Coins struck on the wrong material are incredibly rare. Few survivors. Only a handful of these 1983 P copper core errors are known to exist. The demand is massive. Collectors want it. Investors want it. Museums want it. Most importantly, this was a circulated year. No official mint sets were released in 1982 or 1983, which makes high-quality examples nearly impossible to find. How to identify one? If you want to identify a potential jackpot in your change, here's what to check. Color check. If your 1983 P quarter looks coppery or red like a penny, it's a sign. Normal quarters are silvery gray due to the nickel. Red, something's wrong, or right. Weight check. Use a digital gram scale. A normal quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Missing clad layer. It will weigh around 5.25.4 grams or even less. Magnet test. These coins are non-magnetic, but some errors might have strange compositions. Run tests if you notice anything odd. Detail check. Is there unusual texture on the surface, missing details, weak rims, or distorted letters? These are classic signs of an error coin. Use a loupe. A 10x magnifier can help you spot micro errors.